promised I'd be back with more Secret Wars coverage because this was a large wave with 6 figures. And unfortunately, we are getting no figures from the original 18 that we had. Instead, we're getting new figures. We got one from Secret Wars. It's great. We're adding another Secret Wars character. We got Absorbing Man here. It's looking pretty sharp, keeping true to the villain with his gray shield. We have one from Secret Wars 2, which is Marvel's Magik, or however you want to pronounce it. Again, a hero featured in Secret Wars 2 with the new mutants, and with that Beyonder figure we got from Wave 1. So she's not the only figure to come from Secret Wars 2. So we have her in there now, and then we got this one's hard to tell. I want to say it's part from Secret Wars. It's the scene where he touched that alien goo inside the machine. He started transforming it into the symbiote costume, or alien costume as it's called. We still don't have a Spider-Man Secret Wars. We have a Spider-Man, Black Suit Spider-Man, which was from the second wave of Secret Wars from Mattel. And then we have this hybrid character, which is both from the first wave and part from the second wave. It would have been cooler if you were able to separate the suit, and then we just got a Spider-Man, and they could have added the other parts to make it the hybrid, but we get a hybrid. I'm feeling more and more confident that we're not going to get a Spider-Man in the Secret Wars card back, which is annoying, because then we won't be able to fill out the original 16. But this is what we got. Let's get into it and check them out. All right, let's start with Absorbing Man. So first time we're getting him in the line, definitely from in the Secret Wars line, definitely from Secret Wars 1. I like the deco on him. You can see some hair on his forearms here. No hair on his chest, though, just on his forearms. Completely smooth everywhere else. Little stubble on the face, but he's got that awesome articulation. You can see it in the wrists, in the elbows, in the biceps, in the shoulders. He's got this huge ball joint there. He's got the mid-torso articulation. The head is on a ball. He's got the waist. He's got the hips, the thighs, the knees, the ankles. I mean, he's got the full range. So standard articulation we're seeing on all these figures, which is great. Of course, he comes with his little ball and chain here, so he could definitely use that. He's got 2 fists as default, but he also comes with, I want to say, a weapon holding hand here and a gesturing hand there. So we'll kind of get these 2 covered on here with a hand swap. We always do our hand swap check, and this one's a little tricky. So yep, twist and pull method is usually where I go on that, because I have snapped these before on the NECA figures with the turtles. So we could definitely be careful with this as well. So let's pop this in here, and then we got him posing with his ball and chain and a little gesturing hand. So we have that little motion there. Now, he also comes with an alternate head. So if you want to give him an angry face, because this is sort of a grinning face, we'll try that little switch out here. And we go from a grinning face to an angry face. And there we go. So that is your Absorbing Man. Adding him to the line, kind of cool that we finally get another one of the villains from the line. I hope we get to make all the characters that appeared in the comic book. That would be amazing. Here's his lenticular slide here, and it just goes, you can see him going from human to stone. No hole in his back, so you can't mount it on there, but you could put it on his wrist if you wanted to wear the secret shield. You could do that. So it would be cool to get all the villains, and maybe they could redo that HasLab Galactus and make him Secret Wars packaged. And then we get all our villains, but I'd like to finish the 16 first before we got beyond that. But we started in the first wave with Titania. She wasn't part of the original 16, but we added her to the line that way in the Secret Wars, so it was an interesting choice for Wave 1. But Wave 2, we get this awesome villain. And on to Magik. We got our Magik. We have her little lenticular shield here. It just goes from normal her to her in her New Mutants costume, which she does come in her New Mutants costume here. Pretty nice. Got the same articulation as Absorbing Man, so I'm not going to go over that. You got her in her waist here, upper torso. She got this hair on there. Pretty nice looking hair for just being plastic, so they did a really nice job with that. You have her armor arm here. You could change that to a fist. It comes default with a fist. I put it to a hand. You could change this weapon holding hand to a fist. I put her sword in there, and you could even do an energy effect. So if you just kind of carefully lace the sword through this, you get this nice There we go. Energy effect on the sword. Pretty nice. Yeah, I always love energy effect pieces, especially when they work pretty well with the medium that you're trying to use. So they did a nice job on this one. It was an interesting character to release in the second wave because again we're getting into Secret Wars 2. It still says just Secret Wars logo. There are plenty of characters to work with in Secret Wars. Molecule Man would have been fun to do in this wave. But they are jumping all over the place. Like in Wave 1, we got the Beyonder, which in Secret Wars, he was just kind of like a beam of light. He didn't take that form until Secret Wars 2. So we got, in the tradition of these waves, we got another Secret Wars 2 character. There is no hole in the back for her to mount her shield on. You're going to have to put this on her arm, just like that. So that's your option there for mounting Magik. All right, let's get on to our Spider-Man. Our Spider-Man figure here. Frustrating, but cool. Frustrating in the sense that we didn't get just a regular Spider-Man in the Secret Wars release to help us round out that original 8. But we get this kind of symbiote version where you can see him underneath the costume. This doesn't come off. This is, well, not welded on, but like molded onto him. You can see little parts of it as it's starting to take him over in the front and in the back. Then you see his tattered costume over here on this side from battle. So this is Secret Wars Spider-Man. His shield here is like clean Spider-Man to symbiote Spider-Man, half symbiote Spider-Man, so it doesn't match the original shield. Again, this isn't the original figure. So you got options here. You got a fist, and you got the little quick hands on this side, the web shooting hands, and then you have an open hand on this side. So little different. And then you get this little goober here. I think this is supposed to be like a the little whatchamacallit, the organism he found that jumped on him and then started taking him over. So maybe it just goes like that or something like that on his hand. And then it starts to transition to this costume. I think that's the intent. I'm not sure. It doesn't, there's no instructions and it doesn't kind of fit. You can see it here. It's hard to show on the black side, but it looks like a little guy. That's it with the Spider-Man. I mean, he has the extra articulation in the back there with the biceps. I like that articulation. It really lets you move the character around, get into better poses. And he's got double articulation in the midsection. So he's Spider-Man. He's going to be a lot more flexible. So he's got a lot more joints than the other characters. But I think it's a pretty sharp-looking Spider-Man with the little symbiote. It's an interesting take on the character. I would have appreciated just a regular Spider-Man in this line. I know we've gotten so many Spider-Mans, but I think it would have been cool just to have the original version of him, or just make the original version of him and give you these little parts, like another arm, where we could just snap on the arm and just replace it. Same with this little goo part in the head, just let us snap it on. And that way we get that old school Spider-Man, but you get a new little twist on him, so you'd want to collect them again. But getting that original character from the first 8 in a wave on the card back would have been nice. I'm holding out hope that we get it, but since this is our second Spider-Man now, I'm feeling less and less confident about that. But our first one was a true figure from Wave 2 in the original line, and was Black Suit Spider-Man. So anyway, this is what we got here. We got the, what do they call him? Symbiote or alien costume or something? Yeah, alien costume. Spider-Man alien costume. Because symbiote word didn't exist back then. It was the alien costume. And everyone was really excited to see a Black Suit Spider-Man. But that's it for Spider-Man there. So this is our second half of our wave. Of course, remember the first half we did earlier, or we did last week, and that had characters from the second and third wave, including Daredevil, Falcon, and Constrictor. Now we have Magik Spider-Man and Absorbing Man. I'm always happy to get more Secret Wars characters. Little disappointed that we didn't get a Secret Wars Spider-Man to just finish that out, because that would have been all the heroes from Wave 1. We would have been done. So hopeful that we'll still get it in the future, maybe to come in a 2-pack, but it needs to come on the original card pack so we could have all our 16. But we are getting more characters from Secret Wars with the inclusion of Absorbing Man here, so we're getting another villain, and then we're building our Secret Wars 2 set. So technically Daredevil is Secret Wars 2. He was featured in separate comics as well, the tie-ins, because that split across several different issues. It wasn't just a pure Secret Wars campaign. So technically he was featured in Secret Wars 2, although he was a figure in the original collection. That was all rectified. I think it was around 2021 or somewhere thereafter, where they did like a pocket universe Secret Wars. It happened after Spider-Man got the costume and he just went into a little pocket dimension. Some of these characters got pulled into it. Ones we didn't see in the series, like Constrictor and Daredevil and whatnot, were all then pulled into the series and were part of Secret Wars. And I can't recall if Falcon was in the original Secret Wars or if he was Secret Wars 2. But he was original figure as well. So he was pulled into that little mini book, and so were the vehicles that we never saw in the comic. So everything got its day essentially in that comic. So anyway, yeah, this is what we got. This rounds it out. And then last week we showed you Constrictor, Daredevil, and Falcon. So we are up to, I want to say, what is this, 13, 15 now, if you count that Captain Marvel and Doctor Doom 2-pack, which was Secret Wars, and they're wearing their Secret Wars outfits, so I count it. But we are getting a single card version of Doom that was announced recently, so we'll be adding him to our original 16 and checking that off the box. The only villain we got from the first wave, essentially. We get, oddly enough, the only villain we got from the first wave and the second villain total. We're not getting a lot of villains from the Mattel line, but we are getting some villain characters at least. So that's all for this time. We'll have more Secret Wars coverage as we get more Secret Wars figures. And stay tuned for more from Marvel and other Hasbro lines. Like, subscribe, and follow. See you guys next time.